Hello, my beautiful ones. This is Dr. V. Welcome to a new Timeless Love general reading for all signs and all twin flames and soulmates in this amazing collective. So for all of our new subscribers, I want to give you a big warm welcome, and I want to give lots of love to all of you who are already part of the Live Tarot family. Thank you so much for being here. I know your time is so precious, and I am so honored that you would spend it here with me. And if you're new to this channel, let me quickly explain to you what we do here. I do, because it is my passion and it is my purpose, I do timeless love tarot readings for all of you who are on this journey to either union with that person you love or reunion because you've been in some form of struggle or separation with little to no contact. And so these readings are really messages and guidance from Spirit to give you clarity and confidence as you move along this journey. And the other thing that we do here is really also focus on raising our vibration and living our best possible life, right? I'm a big believer in the law of attraction, spiritual practice, right? Us really focusing on living our best life in every aspect of our life, right? In terms of abundance, in terms of freedom, in terms of joy, because it is from that point that we'll also attract and receive all of the love that we so deserve too. So that's why we're here. So if all of that resonates with you, I hope that it does. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button and join this incredible family. Now, after this reading, if you really did enjoy the reading, I would also appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up and you would share it with anybody else that you feel could really use these messages. As always, I'm going to be using a multitude of decks to do this reading, along with the decks that I've created for you who are especially on this journey. Also, one thing I wanted to tell you is that I'm putting all of the timestamps in as chapters, because YouTube has this new ability to have chapters in the video, which I think is really wonderful. So make sure you look in the description box below so that you can see all the timestamps for what we're doing in the reading. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into our reading today. So in today's reading, we're going to be going in deep on what is the current energy between you and your love, your twin flame or soulmate. And we're going to be looking at what regrets does your love have over what has been going on in your connection. If you've been struggling, if you've been having a hard time coming together because of different obstacles that you're experiencing. I know all of your journeys are very unique and you're all experiencing different things along this journey. So we're going to look at what regrets do they have? What would they like to change in this relationship? How would they like to get over these obstacles so that you can come together? So that's what we're going to be doing. So Spirit, let's start off, open up this reading. Can you please tell us what is the current energy of this connection? What is going on in the energy of this connection between you and your twin flame or soulmate? What is going on in the energy of this connection at this time? Wow. Okay, some powerful stuff coming through already, guys. All right. Okay, so look at this. So just starting out, we're getting some really powerful energy. Look at this. We have the Ace of Swords along with the Three of Wands. So, wow, this tells me that both of you are actually coming into a better space. I feel that for some period of time, there's been a lot of mind games going on. A lot of mental turmoil has been going on between the two of you. I feel like you've gotten to a point where you've reached a crossroads in this connection in terms of knowing that there are some really important decisions that need to be made, right? You've gotten to a point where it's almost like, look, we've been struggling through so many obstacles and so many blocks to our union for so long that it's almost put us on different paths. See what this says? Divergent paths, choices, confusion. Follow your intuition. So see, this is the thing. I feel very much that you both have struggled so much with whatever these obstacles have been in your path that you've almost come to a point where you're like, should we just go our separate ways, right? Look at this. You've been fathoming, like, this has been so painful. There's been so many roadblocks. There's been so many issues here. Is it time for us to walk away? Is it time for us to go in our separate directions? And that has really been weighing on both of your minds, okay? So this is something that has been very much part of your connective energy. And so there's definitely, I think you've been not wanting to take that decision because it's just so painful. You actually both, in your deeper energies, don't want to be apart. You really don't. And so that's why you've been kind of doing the watch and wait kind of game here. 3 of Wands. You feel like, you got to a certain point where you feel like you've done everything that you can. And now it's just almost like this, let's watch and see how it goes. And, it could go any way. It could go in any direction. So you've also been dealing with the uncertainty of that. There's been a lot of this uncertain energy that I feel, it's like, it's giving me even right now this real, like all these butterflies in my stomach, this kind of like ache in my stomach. It's like, I'm feeling it because I feel like I'm feeling it coming from so many of you that you've been very uneasy. There's been a lot of discomfort in your stomachs because, you feel this nervousness. You feel like, gosh, is this actually going to end, or can we actually come back together? So there's been a lot of nervous energy. For some of you, I'm feeling that you have stepped back a little from the connection, as in you haven't been talking as much because you've kind of both gone into this nervous energy and you're afraid of making things worse from where they have been. So it's almost like you've stepped back because you don't want it to get worse. You don't want it to reach a complete breaking point. I think you've both kind of taken a break before it could reach a breaking point to give each other that kind of space. And that's why you're getting that watch and wait energy from this 3 of Wands. So I feel that there's a lot of nervousness in this connective energy, a lot of uncertainty and fear of not wanting this connection to be broken. And so what you guys have been focusing on instead is the material world, because I feel like, when you are in a very difficult place emotionally, when you're feeling so much pain and so much uncertainty, the easiest thing you can do is to distract yourself away into the things that you need to get done in your daily life. And so I feel like what you've both been doing is instead you're focusing on money, career, income. I know it's been a very difficult time right now in the world because of the pandemic and everything. So it's actually been an easy avenue for both of you to just shift into that thinking, okay, there's a lot of uncertainty there too. So let me just focus in on that. What do I need to do to make sure that I'm secure in my 3D world? But I do feel that in the 5th dimension, at the soul level, you guys are still very deeply connected. And so you are also looking for a new direction. Ace of Swords. You're taking this time of quiet to kind of step into a fresher energy, into a newer space where you're like, okay, how can I do things differently? Is there something here that we are missing? I think both of you are thinking this. Is there something here that we're missing? Is there something here that can help us? Are there new ways that we can approach this connection to get over the obstacles? So this is actually really positive because this tells me that neither of you at this moment are willing to give up. This is not the energy of giving up. This is the energy of looking for a new beginning, a new way of being, a new way of thinking. And I feel like both of you are in that sense that you are very similar, in that you do look for your mental energy. You do go to your intellect, your mind, the power of your thoughts to kind of find solutions, find creative and good solutions to problems that you're experiencing. So that's the beginning of your connective energy. Let's go a little bit deeper here. So Spirit, can you tell us more? What more can you tell us about what is going on in this connective energy between you and your twin flame or soulmate? What is going on in the connective energy here? This one popped out, so we're going to take it. What else is going on in the energy of this connection? Let's get some messages in terms of what your love is actually feeling. What are they thinking and feeling about you in this connection at this time? We'll get one more card here, one more message. What is your love thinking and feeling about this connection at this time? All right, so see, isn't this lovely? I really love how this card, this energy coming through is so in alignment with what we were just looking at right now. This is so lovely. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Evolution. This is what both of you are seeking. And you know what? It makes so much sense because you have gone to this crossroads, right? Because you have reached a certain point in this connection where it is critical. It is critical. It is a point at which big decisions need to be made, right? And what I love about this is, again, there's a shared energy here that neither of you wants to walk away. You want the connection to evolve, okay? You want the connection to evolve because look at what your person has to say to you. You're so beautiful to me. Okay, so this is not the energy of people who want to walk away from each other. So that's amazing. But here's also something that your love is struggling with is their emotions. See, my emotions are like a roller coaster right now. So this is something that they, again, I feel like both of you are coming from a place where you are, it's not that you're not connected to your heart space, you are, but both of you tend to be very emotional people, but in a good way. Like you feel very deeply, you love very deeply, and when you're upset, you can even hate very deeply, right? But that all comes from the fact that you guys do feel these emotions very deeply. You are deeply passionate about love, about life, about who you are in this world. And so when things go wrong between the two of you, it feels extremely painful. It almost feels like your heart is being ripped from its chest, right? Like that's how deeply you feel emotions. And so when things are not going right, both of you, your emotions go like roller coasters. You go up and down a lot. And that is why both of you seek comfort in your mind, as in you feel like the only way to seek relief, get relief from those deep emotions that you feel, is to go back into your intellect and start, coming up with kind of like problem solving mode. Okay, how can I solve this as a problem? How can I, get out of these deep, deep emotions that I'm feeling at this time and be more on the path of my, my intellect? How can I approach this in a way that I know that I can feel better, and that I know that my love, my twin flame, my soulmate, we can both feel better too. See, I love you, but I'm afraid to reach out and have you reject me, right? So this is what I'm saying. They feel very, very deeply. I feel like this is a special message for those of you who are in separation at this time. Maybe you haven't had contact, maybe, or if you have, it's been very minimal. So now they're afraid, right? They're afraid that maybe you have reached this crossroads, and because things got too difficult, you did decide to move on. See, they're not sure of this. So they may be trying to find out. And I feel like there's another part of both of you here with choosing your path that is so powerful. Look at this. I feel like both of you are trying very hard to stay optimistic. You want to feel that no matter what happens, no matter how difficult things get, that you guys are going to choose each other in the end. Like, you're not going to choose other people. You're not going to choose other paths, even though for some of you who are in separation, that might be the fear. But what they're hopeful for is that this path that you choose leads you back to them, leads you back to one another, because all is possible. So this is a lovely energy of optimism, okay? There's a definite energy of having faith that no matter how rough the road gets, no matter how difficult the path, and that this path has been full of obstacles for you guys so far, that it doesn't matter, because eventually you will still evolve and you will still find your way back to one another. Isn't that so beautiful? I love that. Okay, so let's pause here so I can give you your affirmation of the day. Today's affirmation is all about the journey, right? We are all on this beautiful journey of life. And I feel that oftentimes things can be difficult, right? We have to navigate the choppy waters. There are roller coasters, things go up and down. So today's affirmation is all about trusting the journey. So I want you to write in the comment box below, I trust my journey. I have faith in my journey. Know that you are exactly where you need to be and that you are headed in the right direction. Have that faith every single day. No matter how difficult things get, know that your journey is the right one for you, and it is taking you to the next, to the next, to the next step that you need to go. Okay, so write that. I trust my journey. I have faith in my journey. Put it in your vibration. Live it today and every day. Now let's get on with our reading. So Spirit, can you please tell us, what regrets does your twin flame or soulmate have about this connection? What are their regrets, and how would they like to fix the situation? What would they like to do differently? What are their regrets? And what would they like to do differently than what they have done before? What are your twin flame or soulmate's regrets? All right, so yeah, this makes a lot of sense. See, this is the thing. Remember, we talked about this King of Cups. So see, this is the thing. They regret that they let their deep passion and deep-seated emotion sometimes get away with them. Okay, so I feel like your twin flame or soulmate, at some level, it's like as much as you love how passionate and emotional they can be, emotional in a good way, as in very open about their passion, very deeply motivated, very wanting and hungry for love, hungry to give love, hungry to get love. But I feel like it's a double-edged sword with your beloved, because in the same vein, they also tend to be triggered very easily. So they tend to be reactive to certain things. And that is one of the things that your love really regrets. Okay, they have certain fears, right? They have kind of a darker side to them. And I mean, we all do, right? We all do. But I feel like in certain situations, your love's darker side tends to come out in ways that can be very difficult for you or anybody else to deal with. And so I feel like this King of Cups is a very double-edged sword for them, because on the one hand, they can be incredibly loving, giving, full of passion and excitement. But on the other hand, when their fears are triggered, and I feel like they do have some very deep-seated fears that they kind of keep very close to the vest, as in they keep them very close to their heart. They don't like to open up and be vulnerable about what these fears are, because it makes them feel even more emotional, right? So when they get triggered in these fears, this King of Cups energy actually works against them, and it works against you too in the connection. So this is something that they deeply regret. They deeply regret that because of this, sometimes they lash out, right? They react. And I feel that for some of you, they even ghost you when this happens. And so it makes you feel very small, and you don't like that energy. It's like, you know that you love them and they love you, but there are certain points at which you feel like they cut you down so much that it makes you feel very small, and that's not right, right? That's not right. And so I'm feeling that they do understand this to some extent. They do feel that they have cut you down with their words, cut you down with their actions, but they are still struggling to change up that energy, right? Because see, the thing is that when it comes to a lot of these behaviors that they have, it comes from the moon's energy. So they lack clarity. This is definitely that dark side of your twin flame and, you know, your soulmate, because they really are a bit limited, because they're not really good at understanding or wanting to face kind of where that energy comes from. And so they feel that when they go into that reactive mode, when they go into that triggered mode, it's like they can't see anything else but that fear. They can't see anything else but that anger or frustration that comes out. And within that energy of lack of clarity, because that really is the moon's energy, right? The moon's energy really puts that veil of illusion over our eyes. It makes us not see what we're truly capable of in many times, right? I feel like your person has the potential to be extremely connected with themselves and their emotions, and to really clear up this negative energy. But because this moon's energy puts so much influence on them when they become triggered, they're really not able to see that freshness. Like, they're really not able to create something better for themselves and to create an experience that's better for you. So as in, you kind of always have to deal with this shit, right? And so this fertility that is possible for them, which is also about, like, you know, new ideas, new ways of being able to actually lift yourself out of this deeper energy, darker energy of the moon, they lose access to it. Like, they're not able to channel that. They're not able to connect to that in a really positive way. And that is what they also very much regret. So I'm also seeing here that the third thing that they regret here is they regret also being influenced by what other people think. Okay, so I feel like your person, your twin flame or soulmate, they also tend to be influenced by other people's opinions, and they're not as independent intellectually and emotionally in that capacity. Like, they tend to value certain people's opinions, because see, we're getting this dog, right? We're also getting this, like, friend is thinking of you, and this Three of Pentacles, which is all about really caring about teamwork. But I feel like with the energy of your person is that it's not just about teamwork, it's also about letting other people's opinions sway you, sometimes more than your own opinion. So I feel like this is another thing that your love regrets, is that they don't tend to look at their own intuition as much as they could. Like, they don't let their own intuition guide them as much as they could, because I feel like that came up before, right? That came up in the energy of their current energy before, the energy between the two of you, right? Which is that you need to use your intuition more instead of relying on the opinions of others. And I do feel like that may have also gotten in the way of your connection. Do they have somebody in their life, whether it's a friend or a family member, parents, siblings, that they become really influenced by, and they almost kind of like go by what they say, because again, they have some sort of fear of disapproval. That's another issue here that is coming through very strongly as to what they regret. And again, I feel like these are the things that they are aware of, they are regretful about, but they're having a really hard time changing because of this moon's energy. Okay, this is something that is not going to go away overnight. This is a pattern of behavior that your beloved has become accustomed to. This is what they've grown up with. So when you have achieved already this pattern, when you're so used to that pattern being in your life, it's really hard to break free of it. So I feel like what Spirit is saying here is that they regret this, they're aware of it, but you be aware that this may continue onwards, right? That their family members or whoever in their life that exerts this kind of influence, it really is powerful. It may not go away anytime soon, and it may continue to affect the connection because they definitely have some fear here of disapproval. So let's go deeper here. So what else does your person regret? What else does your love regret about their actions, their behavior? And what would they like to fix? Aw, look at this, see? So this to me is exactly about what we were just talking about. They do regret that because of these influences, right? Because of these limitations that they've had, that has really brought out darker sides in them. They really do regret that at times they have not behaved with you with integrity, right? They have not been fully honest with you, or they haven't really put you first. They haven't made you the priority in their life as they should. And here, that is why you're getting this message. You're my queen, and that's how I want to treat you. Okay, so I do feel there's a specific message here from the divine masculine to the divine feminines, where I feel like the masculines have really understood that because of these differing forces within themselves and the blocks and obstacles that have come through in this connection, they feel that they haven't been fully honest. They haven't fully been giving you their full attention, their full heart, their full priority. And that is something that they deeply, deeply regret and would like to change, because they want to treat you like the queen that you are. They want to come into integrity with you. And this is what I think is so interesting here, is that they see this as understanding the big picture. And this is a huge shift for them. This is huge. This is so wonderful, because now they're beginning to see that they can't just look from their narrow focus. They can't just look from this tiny little viewpoint of their own needs, right? They can't just look from their own, selfishness, like, oh, this is about me, this is about my family, or like, the people who are close to me. I have to do this, I have to do that. Now they're looking at what is the view from above. What is the bigger picture here? And where do you fit into it? And they have realized that you fit into it as their queen, see? And that it's time for them to step into a bigger vision, to step into what is truly right, not just for them, but for you, right? What is right for you? How can they treat you right? How can they treat this connection and give it the love and respect that it truly deserves? Ooh, I love that. So this is, I think, the main issue here. And there is a lot of positive energy moving forward on this connection for sure, because they have really started to understand what is the greater issue, right? What is the bigger picture here? And they've also really started to prioritize, right? That is the most powerful aspect of this. So then, Spirit, can you please give us some parting advice from your spirit guides? What do they want you to think about as you move forward? Energy work. Life can be electrifying because its very essence is energy. Your body is a remarkable energy field that will positively respond to loving treatments. Your hands and heart are activated to give healing energy to your loved ones and clients. Oh, beautiful. So I do see this as you really focusing on your own energy, right, at this time, especially if you're still in a separation and you're navigating your way back into this connection, right? You're both kind of, finding your way back to each other. I think what Spirit is saying here is really focus in on your own energy, your own joy, your own the love that you feel for yourself, for your life. Value yourself, respect yourself, constantly elevate your own energy and elevate your own vibration, because that is going to be so powerful for you in stepping into your own greatness and also in being in receiving mode, right? Receptive to the love and abundance that is coming to you. So I hope that you got a lot out of this reading. Make sure you leave me a comment and write the affirmation of the day in the box below. If you would like to be on the wait list for a private reading with me when my schedule opens up, the email to send us an email for that is in the box below, as well as the link to all of these oracle decks that I've created especially for all of you. Now popping up on the screen as we end are 2 more readings that are suggested for you, because I know many of you would like more guidance on this journey that you're on. All of my readings are timeless, so if you feel guided to these 2 readings, make sure that you watch them, because there will definitely be messages there that you need to hear. So you know how much I love you, you know how much I believe in you, and I'll see you all on the next video.